Week 7 in the SFL Minor League continues here on YouTube as we join you from the Bluegrass State as we hope to get a look at one of SFLm's top thoroughbreds as the Madison Lynx, still undefeated, visit the Lexington Miners. Happy December and happy game night to you. My name is Josh Circle. I'll be bringing you play-by-play for tonight's game. And joining me in the booth, my best friend in the whole world, Alden Bleeker.
Happy to be here. Oh,
happy to have you, sir.
So happy I couldn't wait. Madison coming into this game at the very top of the leaderboard. You saw Annapolis earlier in the evening punching their ticket, and now Madison get a chance to do the very same.
And with Annapolis moving to 6-0, Madison 5-0 heading into the week. A chance to do that here. Tell me your thoughts about Lexington, currently underwater right now at 2-3. Do they have what it takes to hand Madison their first loss of the season?
Well, I think certainly you have to say, all other things being equal, Lexington's certainly going to play with a chip on their shoulders as they do have a chance now to go above the line. Salt Lake City's threat to overtake them pretty squarely taken away by the loss versus Annapolis, and destiny taken into their hands here tonight.
The party continues here in Lexington. So glad to have you with us. Represent in the chat. We are just about to get this underway. Madison, undefeated at 5-0. We'll get the ball to start, and we are underway in Lexington. Return, a pretty nice return there, out to the 27, and that is where the Lynx will take it over. Here is the Madison Lynx offense. The wide receivers are Adrian Ellis and Charlie Baker. The tight end, number 82, Scott Fowle. At guard, number 67, Mitchell Witters. The halfback, number 21, Marcus Duncan. And there, the quarterback, number 1, Xander Moon, 6'4", 235. And he's going to start under center here, 1st and 10. Against a pretty stout Lexington defense. And Moon will throw on 1st down, and that is complete. And the receiver trying to avoid the defenders. That is Charlie Baker, his first catch of the game.
Yeah, and Xander Moon has really had high expectations going into this season, and you have to say, all other things being equal, once again, that Madison have performed extremely well, and Xander Moon a big part of the equation for sure.
And Alden, he's not somebody that, let's say, has a great deal of attributes, at least compared to some of the other quarterbacks in the league, but he has been getting it done. Obviously, the win-loss record reflects that. They will hand off here on 2nd and long. That is Marcus Duncan, the halfback, coming in the heavy set. And it's going to be a 3rd and medium type situation here.
Well, not quite having the attributes as Xander Moon, but he's really been working with his team, and that really does show a lot of character for such a young quarterback.
Marcus Duncan will take a seat. 4 wide receivers in the game right now for Moon. Thrown over the middle, and that is caught. Complete to the tight end, Scott Fowle. And Fowle, with a most fair catch there, it's going to bring a 1st down. Madison moves the chains.
And that's really what they have to do here. I mean, Madison, they have a job to do, and Lexington have to stop them. Lexington coming into this game below the playoff line, and their job is to stop Madison both on this drive and in general.
James Rambo, the fullback, is going to check in. He will sidecar with Moon. In the shotgun, Moon over the middle again, and that's another completion. And I think that is Scott Fowle with his 2nd catch in as many plays. Penalty flag on the field.
Did not see where that goes.
Clipping, number 60, offense.
That's going to be a block in the back against the offense, and that will negate the catch from Fowle. Well, we have a second. Let's meet the Lexington Miners defense. At defensive end, number 78, Corey Dobbins. The outside linebackers, number 54, Stolton, and number 56, Thomas Matthews. The cornerbacks, number 23, Ty Woodson, and number 28, Daryl Bullock. At free safety, number 22, Travis Arthur. And at strong safety, number 24, Isabella Blackwell. Moon in the shotgun. Has time. Manages to get it away. Hit as he's thrown. Diving receiver, and that will fall to the turf. Incomplete. Great coverage there by the Lexington defense.
Well, it was something of a small miracle that he even got a remotely accurate pass off there. A pocket collapsing very quickly, and Xander Moon has really shown quite a bit of grace under pressure, more or less all season. Really one of his mental attributes that he'll hope to see continue to develop.
2nd and very long here The Madison offense trips to the top of your screen. Moon will stay in the shotgun. He'll deal off a short pass there to Foul. Foul hit almost immediately as he catches it. And it's going to be 3rd and a country mile for the Lynx.
Yeah, third and a jog worth of distance to go for Madison. Don't count them out by any stretch of the imagination, but Lexington looking to finish off their first stop here.
4 wide again for the Lynx. Moon under center this time, throwing over the middle. And that looked like that was going to be a catch into the hands of Hugh McClenny, but that falls to the turf. And now the punt team for Madison will take the field.
Well-placed ball from McClenny, but really what we've seen all over this first drive is that Lexington's defense has been all over Madison, and that'll be a point of emphasis for Lexington as this game continues to try to neutralize Xander Moon.
Pete Ellis will line up at his own 11-yard line. He waits for the snap to get this away. No pressure from Lexington. And their returner will wait on his own side of the field, take a shot from Grant Calder, the strong safety playing special teams. And now our first look at the Lexington Miners offense.
Well, Jaleel Usman, as much as Xander Moon has been receiving a lot of headlines, Jaleel Usman has been making quite a name for himself here, and he gets his first opportunity to make a statement against this Madison #1 team.
And Usman will hand off to Sawyer Stern, who's going to make it dropped for no gain. Let's meet the rest of this Lexington Miners offense. The wide receivers, number 10, Zachary Patton, and number 13, David Garris. The tight end, number 85, John Michael Sudduth. At fullback, number 34, Scott Powell. The halfback is number 21, Sawyer Stern. And it's 6'3", 225. The quarterback, number 5, Jaleel Usman, the second. I feel bad. I never saw the first Jaleel Usman. Under center now for second down. Usman, all the time in the world to throw, and then finally he gets dropped by a Madison defender. That is number 99, Robert Cherry, who joined the team in week 2. That's his first sack of the game.
Well, and this has really been sort of interesting, a study in parallels here. Madison and Xander Moon having to throw off a big pass under pressure there, and the pocket just collapsing. Really nowhere for Jaleel Usman to go.
Absolutely, Alden. It's almost a coverage sack, really. Credit that to the Madison defense. Usman unleashes the dragon there, throwing into triple coverage, looking for Patton. And that's going to fall incomplete, and that's going to be a 3-and-out for Lexington.
Well, we certainly knew that this was a possibility of two resolute defenses standing up, trying to fight for their position in the playoffs, and that's certainly what we're getting here. And it'll be interesting to see which defense is broken first.
If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy, and McClenny will put Madison at the 40-yard line. So far in this very young game, their best starting field position of the evening. And Xander Moon, we have seen him in a lot of pass-heavy sets so far, Alden, and he will continue that trend here. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Moon in the shotgun. And we'll just unload it. Foul with a big catch and a little bit of room to run. That's going to be a gain of 7. Nice way to start the drive. 2nd and 3.
Yeah, and it's as you say, we've seen at least twice now the empty set coming in, and that could very well be a point of emphasis for this Madison offense, running the ball through Xander Moon, and it'll be interesting to see how the Lexington Miners defense can react to it.
And Lexington crowding the line of scrimmage here on 2nd and 3. Hand off to Duncan. Duncan is going to make this very close. They're going to give him the first down. And Madison will move the chains here with just over 6.5 to play in the opening quarter.
Well, nothing too flashy there, but Marcus Duncan works with his blocks to find space up the middle there, and he moves the chains. That's really his job as a halfback here.
Trips again. Moon, short drop, dealing to his left. That is caught. Hugh McClenny making a catch there. And that will stop the clock with 6:17 to play, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and a good limit to the damage done by Lexington, but we're really seeing this chip away style of Madison offense here, and Lexington could very well come to soon be burned by allowing Madison to take away a little bit at a time.
Only 2 wideouts on the field now, and 2 running backs with Moon in the shotgun. Both of them staying to block. There's a throw and a catch. That's Adrian Ellis, I believe his first catch of the evening. And that's going to be very close, 3rd and 1.
Well, Xander Moon doing a good job of spreading the ball around. A bit of a tricky 3rd and 1 situation here for Madison to deal with, but certainly within field goal range if they are not able to punch it in here.
And Alden, I would say that Xander feels comfortable enough that 3rd and 1 might even be a passing down for this Madison Lynx offense as Lexington crowds the line again, throwing out of the heavy set. Moon finds Duncan, and that's a first down, and he's got a lead to the 20, the 10, touchdown Madison. Marcus Duncan getting it done through the air.
Well, we talked about how this Madison offense has been just chipping away at the Lexington defense, and you saw there one big burst of offense was really all it took for Madison to get into the end zone because they had put themselves in such a good offensive field position. Great job by Xander Moon to hang with it after giving up the ball on 4th and a mile, and perhaps a good portent for the Madison offense here.
And 2 huge blocks downfield by the Madison offensive lineman to help spring Marcus Duncan. It looked like that might have been a cute little 5 or 6 yard gain, considering that Moon threw the ball to Duncan behind the line of scrimmage. And yet Duncan able to avoid all of the Lexington defense on his way to the end zone. As we wait for the extra point, the kicker, Alec Finley. And Alec shooting straight there. The extra point is good. And Madison strikes first. Alden at 7-0.
Yeah, and Alec Finley really doing a great job there. Have to give a shout out to him. I believe he is 8 for 8 on the season here, and continuing to show his reliability on that extra point.
Very high standard for kickers in the SFL majors and the minors as well. And Finley, who joined the team in week 4, doing a nice job of meeting that standard, especially on that extra point. Lexington from their own goal line here. This is Brian Way returning this kickoff to the 26-yard line. And Jaleel Usman and company will get another crack at it here from the Lexington 26.
Well, and Madison's second opportunity at the ball did result in a touchdown, and Lexington will certainly be hoping for a better opportunity, for a better result, with their second opportunity with the ball as they went 4 and out last time as well.
Usman's turning the shotgun here, 3 wideouts for the Miners. Pressure coming. Usman has to run out of the pocket, and he's going to throw it away on first down. Prudent move there from the quarterback. While we have a second, let's meet the Madison Lynx defense at defensive end. Already with a sack tonight, number 99, Robert Cherry. The linebackers on the inside, number 52, Nathaniel Diggs. On the outside, number 54, Matthew Alvarado. The cornerbacks, number 23, Enzo Bolton, and number 29, Clay Martin. The free safety, number 22, Michael Lister. And at strong safety, number 27, Adrian Blaine. And now 5 defensive backs on the field for Madison. Sawyer Stern gets the call, and once again, Sawyer Stern barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And Madison Lynx, the Lynx have really been bringing the pressure high on the play here. The previous play before that, we saw Jaleel Usman having to run it, and he's really not known for running. So Madison going to have to continue to dial up the pressure here.
5 wideouts for Usman, and there is a catch to Zachary Patton. Very, very close. And it looks like they are going to give him the first down, saying he made it to the line to gain. And that is the first down of the game for the Miners.
Yeah, that looked extremely close, but I think Lexington will just be glad that they have gotten their first down of the game, and they're going to look to continue marching down the field here.
Back to the shotgun for Usman. One back will stay in to block. He has time to throw and finds his man down the field. That is David Garris, and Garris gets the Miners into plus territory with that catch.
Well, and although it was a great pass and catch by Jaleel Usman, set up by Jaleel Usman there, you saw again at the top of the play there, Madison bringing the pressure, forcing Jaleel Usman out of the comfortable position, and the challenge flag is coming down here.
And I think that is a good challenge. Garris, I thought, had the feet in, but that is close enough and a big enough play that now might be worth taking another look at. And Madison doing all they can to stifle the momentum of this Lexington offense, who, as we said, it just moved the chains for the first time. There's another look at it, Alden.
Tricky to see from that angle, but it looked like that was inbounds to me.
I will say that was a very pretty spiral. And the ruling on the field has been overturned. A bit of a surprise there from R62. And that will negate the first down from Lexington, which I believe will make it 2nd and 10 now for the Miners.
Well, a bit of an aggressive challenge from Madison there. I mean, it worked out for them, and now Lexington are going to have to rethink this first down all over again.
Trips to the bottom of your screen for Lexington. Usman dealing. 5 and out is good. And Garris will get a catch regardless, although a much shorter one here, 3rd and 4.
A lot more pressure on Lexington with his 3rd down after their first down was essentially erased by that challenge.
And with Sawyer Stern struggling to get out of first gear here in the very early goings, it's almost a certainty that Usman is going to put the ball in the air here on 3rd and 4 from their own 42. Usman, short drop, throwing toward the sticks, and that was well defended. Enzo Bolt on the coverage. Nowhere to go for Lexington. And the punt team will come out for the Miners.
Yeah, it was a great ball, but Enzo Bolt, like you said, all over the coverage here. And but pressure, not just at the top of the play, but all over these passing plays for Madison.
Rand Fullman lining up at his own 27-yard line. Madison brings the pressure. Fullman gets it away. And from his own 26, that is McClenny. And he will get it out to the 27, and that's where Madison will take over on offense. Madison undefeated on the season, one of 2 teams to do so. Alden, as you mentioned in the open, Annapolis took care of business. They are 6-0. And Madison needs this game just to keep up with the Navigators. And Xander Moon doing a nice job so far. His team leads 7-0. Moon out of the shotgun on first down. Finds Duncan in the flat, and Duncan will get a yard, maybe 2, before he's corralled by a plethora of Lexington defenders, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, a potential playoff spot on the line for Madison, but as you point out, seeding very much a potential concern, and Madison will look to put up a strong win here. That would certainly help a lot, as Annapolis, did get quite a decisive win over Salt Lake City earlier.
Moon under pressure there, looking for the backup tight end Sheldon Hilton, and Sheldon. Young Sheldon, if you will, have a little trouble reining that in. It'll be 3rd down. Here's another look at it.
Well, and Lexington, to their credit, have had great coverage and great pressure. This is really, as I said during during a previous drive, a study of parallels. These 2 teams playing a very similar style of game, and so far they've had fairly similar results. Now it's Lexington looking to get the ball back.
Trips to the top of your screen. Moon back in the shotgun on 3rd and 8. 6 defensive backs on the field for Lexington. Moon throws quickly, looking for a foul. Foul had a hand on it, but gets dropped. And then the ball gets dropped right after he does. And the Lexington defense coming up big, getting their own 3 and out against Madison.
Yeah, that would have been one heck of a play there. Huge huge leap there made to even get an attempt on it. And now Lexington are going to get the ball back in pretty good field position. This could be a very exciting drive here from Lexington.
Pivotal series there for the Lexington defense. Can the offense deliver on this drive? Out to the 34 is Trent Scarn, handling the punt return duties for the Miners this evening. And that is where Jaleel Usman will take over. Just over 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. So glad to have you with us. Week 7 SFL action here on YouTube. Nice to be back in the Friday night slot. Josh Zirkle, Alden Bleeker in the booth. Cameron Irvine producing. Sawyer Stern running easily his best run of the night, dragging defenders over the line to gain. Very close to midfield. An inspired run by Sawyer Stern.
Well, and explosive power running has really been sort of been the trend in the SFL minor leagues this season. You see him breaking one tackle, using it, taking his blocks very well, and looked like almost 3 men to bring him down there.
Probably one of the toughest 11-yard runs I've seen in the SFL. A lot of times, Alden, these guys get blocks, and nobody touches them through the first 10 yards. Not the case there with Sawyer Stern. Now has plenty of blockers there in the heavy set. Makes a cut there and another nice run. Going to get 5 yards out of that. Trying to bounce back to the left side. 2nd and 5.
Well, to bring back to a point you made as the punt was going off, you mentioned that both teams are really sort of looking for their offense and defense to click. I think one thing we've really talked about with Annapolis is that's been part of their success, is that they've clicked so well on offense and defense. And I think that's really what we'll see with whoever wins, is that their offense and defense can combine into one effective machine here tonight.
A couple yards there from Sawyer Stern. And to follow that point up, Alden, I think when you have a back like Randy Squarebush, I think getting that offense going is so much easier for Annapolis. And in a lot of these games in the minor leagues, the team that scores first is the team that comes out on top. It's so difficult to catch up here. And I think we're still waiting to see who that player is going to be for either team in this game, as Usman in the shotgun on 3rd and 3 will peel over the middle, and that is caught. John Michael Sudeth, his first catch of the game, but he's going to be a little bit short of the line, but we may be in 4-down territory here.
Yeah, both teams having players that are performing quite well, but both teams also looking for a player to really have that breakout star performance that carries them on their backs, as Randy Squarebush has done so many times this season for Annapolis.
Usman will stay on the field here on 4th and 1. Will they run a play? Madison crowding the line. They look like they're ready. They will. Sawyer Stern up the middle. He's got the first down. And the Lexington offense stepping up to the craps table and rolling a 7. I think that's what happens. I don't play craps, but a successful effort here by the Miners, and they continue to roll in plus territory.
7 the hard way, I believe that's the phrase. I don't play craps either, and nothing coming easy for either team here.
Stern again with a head of steam now. We'll get 3 yards after he drags a defender. That looked like Gary Hounds, number 53. We've got a free cab fare for a couple yards there at least. 2nd and 7.
2nd and 6.
Jaleel Usman the second, 6'3", 225. One of many quarterbacks in this league hoping to get their name called in the season 18 rookie draft. Usman, time to throw here. Throws down the field. Looking for Zachary Patton. That pass well defended. I would say very fortunate for Usman. That was incomplete, Alden.
Yeah, certainly a very risky ball there. And to your point, lots of good quarterbacks, lots of good halfbacks. It's very difficult in the SFLm. There's lots of great players, and it's just unfortunate that not everyone can get their name called. But it's a down by down, rep by rep. These players looking to get better every single day.
5 wideouts for Usman, who completes it. That'll be a first down, and that will be the end of the first quarter. The teams have to switch sides, but you can stay right there. More SFLm action coming your way. You're watching the SFL Minor League on YouTube. Lexington, Kentucky. Josh Zirkle, Alden Bleeker in the booth. Cameron Irvine in the truck producing. Lexington gave up an early touchdown to Marcus Duncan on an impressive catch and run. They're looking to even the score here. Usman in the shotgun. Has his receiver. That's Zachary Patton again. He's getting a little bit of volume here in the first half. And that will get the Miners into a more manageable situation, even as they approach the red zone.
Yeah, and Jaleel Usman, to his credit there, showing a lot of confidence. He sees immediately one of his men is open, and he just pulls the trigger. It's very easy to lose confidence in your passing game, especially when you're facing such a tight defense here.
Sawyer Stern around the left side. The blocks did not materialize for him there. And I will say, we're seeing a lot of different looks from this Lexington offense. We've seen 5 wide receivers, 3 running backs in the same drive. And they've got 3 first downs to show for it. And they're looking to get 3 points at least to show for it here as they have officially entered the red zone here on 3rd down. Usman staying in the shotgun. 4-man rush for Madison. Dumps it off to Stern. Can he make it to the line? No, he cannot. Down at the 18-yard line. And I think we will get our first look at the kicking incarnation of Brooke Beisel, who played last year in the SFLm as a running back. She rejoins us for season 4 as a kicker. This will be a 35-yard attempt.
Well, I want to point out that Brooke Beisel is also has yet to miss a field goal here.
And she keeps the streak alive there. Good from 35 yards. And Lexington is on the board. They only trail by 4 now.
And I do want to bring something up. You mentioned that Lexington have been very creative in their play calling here. As much as Madison, we've seen a lot of the empty set and trips. That's because they have a real strength in Xander Moon, and I think you see that is starting to become the real strength for Lexington here tonight, is their unpredictability and their ability to let multiple players shine.
And that's exactly what you want to see in a developmental league like this one. You give everyone an opportunity, give everyone a fair amount of volume, and we certainly saw it on that drive. 3 first downs, starting from their own 36. Got all the way down to the 18-yard line. An impressive drive capped off by that Brooke Beisel field goal. And now Xander Moon for the first time in the second quarter. We'll go right to left on your computer screen. The handoff to Marcus Duncan. Duncan has the head of steam. He has got a first down and more. Out to the 40. Can they catch him? Past midfield. 30, 20, and finally dragged down at the 16-yard line. A very impressive run from Marcus Duncan.
Yeah, and Travis Arthur, man, he just hustled all the way down the field trying to catch up to him. I mean, you talk about an explosive run, a little bit of daylight, and just one block blew it wide open. I mean, you do have to give credit to Travis Arthur for catching up with him. But man, that really feels like a play that should have been a touchdown for Madison. A huge run nonetheless.
Duncan had a lane, had some blockers, had a bit of a convoy. But Arthur managed to run it down. Duncan again, this time much less lucrative. He's only going to get 1 yard there. Madison squarely in the red zone, getting a little conservative here. I'd say that's a good idea, Alden.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Madison are ahead here. There's nothing wrong with playing a little conservatively and hoping something opens up for you.
Moon dealing out to the left. That is caught. Oof. James Rambo, the fullback, escorted out of bounds by Ty Woodson. That'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, and Ty Woodson showing a lot of his value there on a big hit. Bend don't break mentality here for Lexington, seemingly the order, and they're looking at potentially getting a stop here.
Moon will go under center here on 3rd and 4. 4 wide receivers. Scott fouled to his left. Short drop. Moon dealing, and that is caught for a touchdown.
Oh.
Flag on the field. Adrian Ellis bringing in the catch. Let's see what the flag is.
Late hit, number 23, defense.
That's going to be a late hit on the defense. The touchdown will stand. Ty Woodson, the aggrieving party. And we'll see if they, I think they'll just decline that. And Adrian Ellis will have his first touchdown of the game.
Unless they've spotted this on the one, or either they've spotted this on the one,
they have.
or this is, yeah.
So half the distance down on the extra point, which is almost moot as Alec Finley lines this one up. In some instances, you'd like to see them take that off the kickoff. But nevertheless, the extra point is good. Madison goes up 14-3. Preparations for season 18 in the SFL are underway, and signing periods begin Monday, December 6th. You can follow the most up-to-date transactions on the wire at simulationfl.net/transactions. And stay tuned for the league's free agency special, which airs Monday, December 13th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern on the SFL's YouTube channel. That's right here, with front office and free agent guests and analysis. Free agent special Monday, December 13th, starting at 1 p.m. on YouTube. And that is Brian Way trying to make a way down the field. It gets stopped at the 28, and here comes Jaleel Usman and company once again.
And speaking of the free agency special, always an interesting period of the offseason to see how team strategies are shaping up between the free agents that they sign and who they draft. You can really get an idea of what they're going to look like coming into the next season.
Usman has time, throwing to his left, and that is caught. It'll be a first down. Corralled out of bounds by Clay Martin. That is David Garris. David Garris running some nice out routes here. We'll get another look at it.
Yeah, and as much as, I mean, really, Jaleel Usman, we have to say, has been doing a great job placing these balls, and his receivers running great routes, making athletic attempts, even if they sometimes are coming in dangerous areas. This has been an offense that has been working relatively well for Lexington, although they maybe don't have the points that they deserve.
They've had one good drive so far, and we're not able to cash that in all the way. And that being their most recent drive, ending in the Beisel field goal. Stern will catch this out in the flat. He's going to get dropped. Tremendous play by Travis Arthur, the free safety. Excuse me, that's Michael Lister. Got my rosters mixed up, folks. My apologies. Michael Lister with the TFL.
Yeah, and you see Michael Lister watching the play all the way there. You know, as much as Madison have been really dialing up the pressure at the top of these plays here, they've also really been getting coverage up and down the field here, and that's just another great example of it right there.
Usman, short drop, and that is complete over the middle. To Garris once again. He goes outside, he goes inside. David Garris coming up with some catches here. And now it'll be 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 for Lexington. Both defenses so far, I think, have been really lights out so far. The Lynx cornerbacks giving the Lexington receivers quite a cushion here on 3rd and 9. Usman in the shotgun. 4-man rush for the Lynx over the middle. And that is going to be caught.
Wow.
Lexington moving the chains again on 3rd and 9. And that is Brian Way, the special teams ace, coming up with a big catch there.
Well, whatever the opposite of a coverage sack is, we just saw it right there. The pocket really being set up well by the Lexington offensive line, and just you see there Jaleel Usman having all the time in the world to make that play, and a great athletic play downfield.
Absolutely, Usman again, complete over the middle again. Lexington perhaps calculating a different strategy here as Garris, with his second catch on this drive, in between the hash marks. And that's good for 7 yards, 2nd and 3.
Yeah, and this is really sort of what Lexington has been trying to do all game. They're just marching it down the field here.
Very impressive. Lexington starting to warm up here as we reach the midway point of the second quarter. Sawyer Stern sidesteps. He's got a first down. He's out to the 30-yard line. And you see the numbers there for Stern. Not a great average so far, but he is warming up as well.
Yeah, and although he has not been busting off huge runs, really showing some great athleticism and power on these runs, showing that he does have the potential to bust off big runs if he's able to get past this tight coverage from Madison here.
Absolutely. Blitz coming for the Lynx. Guzman throws to the right side. That is Patton. This time running the out route. And Patton gets his team another first down. Guzman beats the blitz. Lexington almost in the red zone.
Yeah, and it's another instance where we just see the pocket being set up to perfection there, and really that's a great job reacting to the pressure that Madison have shown all game.
And this is the second straight drive where Lexington has had at least 3 first downs. And they may have more coming here, as now they are inside the red zone. 5 wideouts for Guzman. Dealing to the left side, throwing to the end zone, tipped in the air, and that is incomplete. Nice defense there by Clay Martin.
Yeah, a little bit of an aerial display there in the deep in the end zone. Looked like that was a ball being set up perfectly for a touchdown by Jaleel Usman, and just you see there the coverage getting a hand in, and you don't need to get an interception. We can just swat it down like that.
Martin doing a nice job of turning back toward the ball, and reaching behind against his momentum to do that. And that's the closest thing we've seen to either quarterback unleashing the Dragons so far. Both QBs, despite the pass-heavy sets, very conservative here in the first half. Guzman in the shotgun here on 2nd and 10. Throw to his left, and Garris is going to make that catch. And he is inside the 10-yard line to make it 3rd and 2.
Yeah, although Lexington have been able to play a little bit vertically, they have been very much running towards the sideline and trying to find yardage after the catch. That we're maybe starting to see a little bit as a little bit of a reversal here. Excuse me, as Lexington now starting to run a little bit more medium and deep routes here.
And no running back in the field at all. That's going to be a touchdown. 5 wide receivers, no running backs, empty set. And it's Lawrence Perry, the backup tight end. Second tight end on the field, coming up with Lexington's first touchdown of the game.
Well, just as I say that Lexington have been running medium and deep routes, you just put the ball in the hands of your tight end and have him run into the end zone. Again, nothing too spectacular, but really got the job done. That's all it was needed.
Drive summaries for Lexington so far tonight. 3 and out, punt, field goal, touchdown. Forget about heating up. This Lexington offense is on fire. And the extra point from Beisel is good. And we once again have a 3-point ball game. With 4:32 left here in the first half. Madison trying to stay undefeated. They're 5-0. The only other unbeaten in the SFL minor league, Annapolis, took care of business earlier tonight. Madison needs a win here to hold serve. A win, as we were discussing earlier, Alden, will get them into the playoffs.
Yeah, and Madison have been showing a lot of promise of punching their ticket here tonight. But if for whatever reason they're not able to do it tonight, 2 more opportunities, but certainly Madison would have to be concerned about seeding heading into the playoffs. You know, even once you have your playoff spot, you are looking for an optimal matchup.
Brooke Beisel booted that into the end zone, and now Madison will start from inside their own 20-yard line. Xander Moon under center, throwing over the middle. That is caught! Huge catch over the middle by Charlie Baker. We've not called his name very often tonight, but Baker coming up with a big catch there over the middle. And that gets Madison going on the right foot so far for this drive.
Well, a quick scoring update here, as you see in the Tacoma-Memphis game. Memphis going up 7-0 on the touchdown run by G.P. Wells. That another game that does have some consequences towards a little closer to the line.
And G.P. Wells, who I had a chance to see last week, I think is very underrated in terms of talking about some of the running backs in this league. As Moon looking for Adrian Ellis, and that was slightly overthrown, just a bit outside, you might say. But with everybody talking about Jones and Squarebush, and rightfully so, and we haven't even forgotten about Douglas Brown, G.P. Wells, especially with the rosters going to 23 now, you know teams are going to take a look at getting that second running back, that second halfback. And I think G.P. Wells could start in the SFL, don't get me wrong, but I think he's going to find a way onto a roster one way or another as Moon completes to the left side. Charlie Baker again, his second catch on the drive. And it's going to be 3rd and medium for the Lynx.
Yeah, and I have previously played with G.P. Wells. You know, I cannot say enough positive things about his mindset and about the kind of atmosphere that he brings to the locker room. Really one of those guys that produces for you, not just on the field, but off, really helps your players stay in the right mindset.
Moon complete over there. That will be a first down. Nice move by Adrian Ellis to sidestep over the line to gain before getting out of bounds. They will spot this right at midfield as Madison moves the chains. When you talk about, Alden, when you're talking about getting in the right mindset, can you expand on that a little bit? Tell maybe some of the people listening what these GMs are looking for in a player. As you mentioned, it's not so much on the field as much as it is off the field.
Sure. So, SFL players, we're obviously, trying to compete and win. We're looking for hardware. But at the end of the day, there are things in life that are bigger than football. The SFL is a community. You really want to demonstrate to the SFL GMs that that you can that you're not going to be a diva, that you're not going to belittle other people, whether it's for your team or for another team. It's and really you want to also show that you have a competitor's mindset, that you're going to show up, that you're going to that you're going to progress in training, and it's you can be the best player in the history of football, but if you're really not someone that someone wants to be around, then it's hard to justify a GM having you around.
Marcus Duncan making back-to-back catches will move the chains once again. Charlie Baker had a catch before Duncan's back-to-back, and it's going to be another first down from Madison, and that will get us to the 2-minute warning. Madison looking to add some points on the board before they head to the locker room. Will they succeed? Stick around and find out. You're watching the SFL Minor League on YouTube. Josh Zirkle, Alden Bleeker in the booth, Cameron Irvine in the truck. You sitting at home watching this fantastic game between Madison and Lexington. And Marcus Duncan was going to take a loss there after an ill-advised dump-off from Xander Moon in the flat, 2nd and 14.
Yeah, Duncan really the only option on passing there, but the Lexington defense swarming all over him more or less once the ball is in his hands.
Absolutely. We've seen that from both secondaries tonight, Alden, doing a nice job forcing these quarterbacks into some low percentage throws, some ill-advised throws. And Duncan in the backfield by his lonesome here on 2nd and 14. Bunch formation to the bottom of your screen. Moon will throw to the right side. That is caught by Fowl. And Scott Fowl will make this a 3rd and kind of long instead of a 3rd and very long.
And I believe that was Thomas Matthews that tried to make a athletic play, trying to knock that pass down there. Still a tricky situation for Madison, but you do have to give credit for the athletic, the creative attempt there.
Empty backfield for Moon, this time on 3rd and 9. Throwing to the corner. Ooh, that is going to be incomplete. Looking for Adrian Ellis again, but terrific defense by Daryl Bullock, the cornerback. And it's going to be Alec Finley time here yet again. This is going to be a long one.
Yeah, I almost wonder if you punt it. Well, he is going to be coming on here, but I almost wonder if this was one of those situations where you punt it and just try to get it back. Obviously, they're going to opt for a very long field goal here.
This will be 54 yards from Alec Finley. The spot is good. The kick is up. Oh, and that's going to be short. A few yards short of the goalpost. A lot of faith from the Madison coaching staff and Alec Finley as we get another look at it. Close but no cigar.
And you see the reason why they trust him there. You know, a great job getting the snap off and getting it set. Just not quite enough gas. Just dying off right at the end there, and Lexington getting a chance perhaps with 3 timeouts to maybe get one more score going into the half.
Lexington from their own 44. This will be their best starting field position of the evening. Usman, who has led his team to scoring on his last 2 drives, will throw to Sawyer Stern there, and Stern's going to get dropped. That is Nathaniel Diggs putting a little hurt on. Lexington will hurry up.
Playing clock instead of timeout. Very interesting decision here.
Usman throwing over the middle. Ooh. Deflected, and that's going to be knocked down. Intended for Zachary Patton into double coverage there. Enzo Bolt among the defenders on the stop. Adrian Blaine there as well.
Yeah, and really trying to get that pass off quickly there. Almost looked like it was going to be placed into his hands, but just short because of the double coverage there.
And Usman keeping this defense honest a little bit in the sense that he has taken a couple shots down the field. And now bunch formation to the top of your screen. Usman in the shotgun here on 3rd and very long. Going to the right side this time, and that is in and out of the hands of Brian Way. And once again, Enzo Bolt playing some nice coverage there. And after the great field position, that's going to be a 3 and out for Lexington.
Yeah, that forced to make a decision very quickly there, and that the ball was in his hands. Oh my goodness, that a drop forced by the coverage being right there, and that if that's put in his hands, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he stays up and maybe he gets the first down yardage. Lexington potentially use a timeout and continue marching. One of those hinge plays that decide games.
And really, that whole series was really interesting as well. They were playing like they only had, a few seconds left. And as you mentioned, they wouldn't use any timeouts at all. And now Madison, they're going to get the ball back here with all of their timeouts and 29 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how Madison go here. They've been using the trips in the empty set, but they haven't been really using deep routes either.
And will that change as Xander Moon goes under center here? 4 wide receivers on the field. Scott Fowle lined up to his left. 5-step drop, sidestep, and he finds a receiver over the middle. That is number 83, Curtis Walker, the backup wide receiver.
They're playing clock as well.
Madison will hurry up. 15 seconds here. This would be a good time to use the timeout. Short drop by Moon. A low ball, but brought in. I think that was Adrian Ellis. And now 5 seconds left. You do have 3 timeouts. And look, Madison decides to use one there.
Yeah, the looked like that was maybe going to be an odd time for some sportsmanship, just trying not to run the score up. But you really think that is you're looking to call a timeout as soon as that ends, and perhaps Madison have lost a play there by using more aggressive clock management.
At least one. Now that they have 2 timeouts remaining, and I think we're going to see a Hail Mary effort here. As we see 4 wideouts lining up to Moon's right. And he's in the shotgun. And these usually, minors or majors, do not have a high probability of success. As the pressure gets to Moon, and down he goes. The first half is going to end on a sack. And Lexington, thanks to Corey Dobbins, will take a little momentum into their locker room. As Madison, undefeated at SFLm so far, lead this game 14-10. Alden Bleeker, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, Madison have come into this game, and into this week, I should say, at the very top of the SFLm table, and you would not expect this very even game based on that fact. You know, although Madison have more total yards, as you see there, the time of possession has been very even, and perhaps more importantly, Lexington have a very even score. You know, we've seen throughout this game, Jaleel Usman is picking his spots. He's getting good yardage, and Xander Moon and as you saw there, Marcus Duncan breaking off that big touchdown run, have in some ways struggled to keep up with Lexington's offense.
Xander Moon so far 166 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 to Marcus Duncan, and the other to Adrian Ellis. And as you said, this Lexington offense basically keeping up for the most part, despite a couple 3-and-outs. They did get the Brooke Beisel field goal. They had the touchdown throw to the backup tight end, Lawrence Perry, earlier in the first half. Who do you see potentially, Alden? Your best guess as who the rising star could be for either team that might end up carrying their team to victory?
Well, I think really all throughout this game, Jaleel Usman has had much more of an impact than he could have perhaps reasonably hoped to coming into this game. And I think that we could very well see Lexington pull off the upset and leave Annapolis coming out of this game as the only undefeated team remaining.
Lexington will start the second half with the football. As we watch some of the trailing first half highlights by Madison, neither team, and we mentioned this earlier, neither team deciding to use their timeouts except for Madison until it was almost too late. And we are going to reignite this candle in just a second as we see both teams loitering around here. And at last, Alec Finley has put this ball on the tee. Very rare situation where we see both teams with higher profile kickers, or big money kickers, if you will. And Brooke Beisel got her kickoff to the end zone. Let's see if Alec Finley could do the same. He's going to get it out to about the 4-yard line. And Way will take it out. And Way's got a lane. Out to the 30, the 40, out to midfield. He turns the corner and finally brought down at the Madison 37. A huge special teams play for Brian Way and the Lexington Miners.
Lexington went into the half with some momentum, and they've picked up a huge momentum swing there. I mean, Alec Finley has a kickoff there that you think in the grand scheme of things is about what you could reasonably expect, and just Brian Way has had huge special teams plays, and Lexington sets up on the 37-yard line.
Almost already within the field goal range of Brooke Beisel, who has a field goal already today. Usman dealing to his left, and that is brought in by Garris. Nice catch, and Cramp Court has had the matchup there. Wide receiver versus linebacker. You love to see that as a quarterback. 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and Alec Finley and Brooke Beisel both went into this game having not missed a single field goal. Alec Finley missed a field goal, and maybe, you know, in tight games like this, it can very easily come down to one single very slight edge. Maybe that difference of that one missed field goal will end up being the difference.
Usman to Stern. Sawyer Stern will be dropped just short of the line to gain. Gary Hounds released on that play. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Usman chatter in there. 3rd and 1. He can call just about any play in the playbook here. He's going to hand it off to Stern. Stern's got the first down. Dragged down back behind the line of scrimmage, but it's too late now. He did cross the line to gain. It's a fresh set of downs for Lexington here at the 26-yard line.
Well, and one of the things that Stern's been doing real well all game has been, you know, these power runs where he just takes it, puts it in his hands, tucks it tight, and just gets the first down yardage. That's been something that he's been reliable to do all game, and that's something that he could maybe even see himself do at the next level here.
Totally agree, Alden. He has followed his blocks when he's had them. Usman with all kinds of time, speaking of blocks, and that's intercepted. First turnover of the game, and that is Enzo Bolt, who's played terrifically so far. Had a great first half and keeps it going here. And picking off Usman, who unleashed the dragon just a little too soon.
Yeah, and we've seen, wow, he got so deep in that coverage to track this ball down. He read that pass route all the way, and Madison have had tight coverage all game. They've been all over this Lexington offense, and that's the first time that Lexington have given up the ball, and I don't think it could have come in a more disastrous time and area here.
Could not agree more. The long kickoff return going for naught now. As Madison will take over at their own 24. Xander Moon finds Duncan in the flat. Duncan will get a yard, and then he'll get dropped by Isabella Blackwell. Yes, ma'am. 2nd and 8.
Well, and although, you know, as we said going into this game, Lexington playing with a chip on their shoulder, and that could very well be perhaps the way that they recover from this potentially disastrous interception is just playing high pressure with lots of coverage, doing the things that have worked for both defenses here.
Duncan's going to fight to get a yard or two around the left side. And Ty Woodson, the cornerback, coming up to play run coverage. We'd love to see that. And that's going to be 3rd and 7. Woodson looked like he's hobbling a little bit as he goes back to the huddle.
Well, Lexington gave up the ball, but they have certainly not given up, showing a lot of courage and a lot of integrity here.
Moon, empty backfield, throwing over the middle. And that is deflected and falls incomplete. Isabella Blackwell, I think, got the PD on that one, as Moon was looking for Ellis. And so after the turnover, the Lexington defense steps up, Alden, and gets a 3 and out.
Yeah, you never want to give up the ball under any circumstances, and especially not starting on the 34-yard line and getting a first down after. But really, Lexington doing what they could have possibly been expected to do here. They step up, make no excuses, and they're going to get the ball back here.
Pressure on the Madison punt, but Pete Ellis gets it away. And Way now back to the 33-yard line, though that is Trent Scarn. Cornerback is handling punt coverage duties tonight. And now Usman, who just threw an interception a few minutes ago, will trot back out here.
And this will be very telling, I think, of his mindset of whether he's able to step back up and lead this offense.
Stern in the power I out to the left side, gets past the first level. He's going to get 6 yards there before being brought down by Michael Lister, 2nd and 4.
Well, and a great job, you know, as when the running game has been working for Lexington, that's how it's been set up. Great block in the front, and he just follows it around trying to find any sort of space. Not quite able to get the first down, but certainly a promising sign for Lexington.
Usman on the shotgun here on 2nd and 4. 3 wideouts on the field. Usman has time, and now he doesn't have time. That's Robert Cherry once again, his 2nd sack of the game. Swinging for the fences, the defensive end. He joined this team in week 2. Huge play for Madison.
Yeah, that is, well, you see number 75 certainly trying his best, but Cherry found his route to the quarterback and into the pocket. That's really been what has been maybe the one thing that stopped Usman from having the kind of performance that he hoped for, is the pocket not quite holding up when he needs it to.
Press coverage now for Madison as Usman is going to be under pressure again, and down he goes again. Back-to-back plays. Robert Cherry's in there, and this time he had a little bit of help from Nathaniel Diggs. That's doing the group thing in the Lexington backfield. Madison defenders a back-to-back sacks, and Lexington will have to punt it away.
Well, and to again, you know, we talk about integrity and showing up and doing what you're supposed to do. That really has been what Madison has been able to do so well this game, is provide coverage, provide pressure at the top of the play, and you see they are working twice their perfection, getting inside of the pocket and getting a hit.
And after dueling 3 and outs, Madison's going to take over at their own 44-yard line. I believe this will be their best starting field position of the evening, as Zanderman will set up shop with a power eye. And 3 wide receivers. Scott Fowle will take a break on the bench. And Moon will throw on first down under pressure. It looks like he's just trying to get rid of that. Maybe the ball came out of his hand. Duncan was in the area. And under a lot of pressure there. Difficult to tell what the intended outcome was there. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and you know, again, this has really been, you know, it's as we said earlier, which defense is going to break first is the big question that's going to be critical in determining who wins here. And Lexington now are dialing up the pressure just as much as Madison have been.
Scott Fowle checks back in. Duncan gets the call off the left side. He's got a lane, got the first down and more to the 30. To the 20, can they catch him? Down to the 10, and he wrestles his way to the end zone. Marcus Duncan, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Wow, and that will certainly be a relief to Madison. They have been trying for so long to get a touchdown like this. You know, all cylinders clicking here. You see a great forward block here, tackle broken, another block up front, and that really just gave him the space he needed to get downfield. 4 men chasing him, breaks another tackle going into the end zone, and that is just a superhuman performance there.
An inspired run by Marcus Duncan. All 5'11", 200 pounds of him. And Alec Finley will make an effort to add on the extra point. SFLm action continues on Saturday, December 11th, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can watch every single SFL minor league game on the SFL's YouTube channel, so make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell to receive updates. Help the league get to 5,000 subscribers during the SFLm's 4th season, the SFL Minor League, where football dreams begin. And Madison has extended their lead to 21-10, and Lexington will get one more shot at this. Starting with Brian Way on the 2-yard line. And he'll get out to the 23, and that's where Jaleel Usman II and friends will set up shop for the Lexington offense.
Well, it's really put plenty of time left in this game, but it is really starting to become crunch time for this Lexington offense. And, you know, we've given plenty of credit to Jaleel Usman and the rest of this offense, but it's really, they're going to start running out of opportunities here soon.
Sawyer Stern manages to get upfield, and that is a great wrap up there by Ulysses Yale, the backup cornerback, to bring Stern down after just a couple of yards. 2nd and 8.
2nd and 7. Ball at the 25-yard line.
Lexington fighting for their potential playoff lives up against the team, one of 2 teams in the SFL minor league that has not lost a game, as Usman throws into double coverage. And the receiver had trouble trying to find the ball, which will happen when Enzo Bolt is in the area. Zachary Patton, the intended receiver. 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and as we briefly mentioned going into this game, Salt Lake City were just behind Lexington and threatening to potentially overtake them prior to the loss to Annapolis. And Lexington really do need a win here, and they know that they have a chance to help their playoff dreams here, and they hopefully can continue to play like it.
David Garris beats the press coverage to get the first down. Usman in the empty backfield, and you've got to have a lot of faith in your offensive line, Alden, when you go out in a pretty obvious passing situation and you don't have any backs in the backfield to help block for your quarterback.
As an offensive line player, an offensive line coach myself, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, you know, we've been seeing these empty sets and trips and what have you. It really all starts with the offensive blocks in the front.
Looking for Garris again. That was underthrown. Clay Martin getting the PD there on some nice defense. That'll be 2nd and 10. And we are sorry, not to cut you off, but Usman, really the only one making these long, aggressive throws. And I guess when you're down 2 scores, that's probably something you have to factor in, something you've got to mix in to your offense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Usman under center this time in the offset eye. 2nd and 10. You see Madison crowding the box. Short drop. Usman over the middle, looking for Garris again. And Usman throwing into a lot of traffic here. Had his mind made up that Garris was going to get the ball. Once again, Clay Martin gets the PD.
Well, a quick scoring update as Tacoma and Memphis continue to fight it out in those 3rd and 4th positions just above the line. Memphis have just scored a touchdown. Israel Adams receiving a touchdown. Memphis now up 21-14 with 33 seconds left in the first half in that game.
Usman under center again. Empty backfield again. John Michael Sudduth to his left. 4 wideouts. Evenly distributed. Unleashing the dragon there, and that is caught. A huge gain for Lexington. And that's number 82, Chris Armstrong, one of the backup wide receivers in this offense. Coming up with a first-string catch there. And Lexington has a huge first down.
Yeah, looked like he maybe had space to bust off a big run there, but I do believe making the correct decision to just make sure that he had that one hauled in. You know, we've seen plenty of passes that looked like catches and then resulted in drops when the player was hit by this Lynx defense. And great decision making from Usman and from the receiver there.
Sawyer Stern checks back in. Madison crowding the line. Stern up the middle. The crowding pays dividends. And Stern's going to get marked for no gain. Matthew Alvarado, first on the scene, 2nd and 10.
And one more scoring update on Tacoma and Memphis as that game goes into halftime. Brad Jones with a 76-yard touchdown run to tie it up going into the half. Really, anyone could win in that Memphis-Tacoma game.
You know, between Randy Squarebush and Douglas Brown, Brad Jones somehow seems to get his name left out of a lot of these running back conversations when we're talking about SFLm and the rookie draft. And now the big 3rd down here for Lexington as they try and claw back into 1-score territory here with 3:41 to play here in the 3rd quarter. In the shotgun this time. Usman, nowhere to go. Intended for Brian Way, who couldn't find a way to catch that one.
Yeah, and this is... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I think I was gonna say the same thing you were. This is gonna be a long field goal attempt for Brooke Beisel potentially.
Yeah, this is one of those make or break moments. Like we said, one of those hinges that holds a game together or causes it to fall apart.
This will be a 50-yard attempt. Alec Finley was short from 55. Earlier in the game, the spot is good. Kick is up. And that is money in the bank. Yes, ma'am. Brooke Beisel makes it a 1-score game.
Well, and both Alec Field and Brooke Beisel or Alec Finley, excuse me, and Brooke Beisel have come into this game having not missed a single field goal, and both asked to make incredibly long attempts. You know, you have to give credit to both of them for even getting close. But Brooke Beisel splits the uprights there, and that is certainly a case made to the SFL GMs there.
Tremendous leg from the former running back. And now Madison will take over an offense after McClenny gets this out to the 22. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. Xander Moon in the shotgun on first down, throwing over the middle, and that is complete to Scott Fowle. And every catch Scott Fowle has made today, he's really had to work for it. either jumping in the air or taking some contact after the catch. And that is good for 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, and it's certainly been tricky for both sets of offenses. The quarterbacks and receivers neither have had an easy time with how well both of these defenses have been playing.
Very, very true. Moon facing the twist here on 2nd down. That is deflected. That's Forrest Dalton. Playing some nice pass coverage there. Nearly coming away with a pick.
Yeah, and both defenses, both defenses, you really have to say, have been a huge part of their respective teams' success here. Lexington have been have been held in this game by their defense. Meanwhile, Madison have been able to hold on to this lead because of their defense. You know, as we keep saying, a study of parallels.
Moon complete. That's going to be short. 4th and inches. Charlie Baker not getting the spot there. After getting taken out by the chain gang. Whoa.
Oh.
He got up in a hurry.
Yeah, demonstrating his magic act on the sidelines of this SFL game.
Do you even consider going for it here, Alden?
This is tricky. I do think you have to play conservatively because Usman and this Lexington offense have shown that if you give them opportunities, they can be explosive. I do think you don't necessarily want to give them the ball inside of the 30 like that.
Scarn gets us out to the 33. Drive summaries for Lexington: 3 and out, punt, field goal, touchdown, 3 and out, interception, 3 and out, field goal. Bit of a bipolar offense, if you will, so far for Lexington tonight. Sawyer Stern up the middle. That'll be a nice run before being brought down. 2nd and 5. And with the running back situation being what it is, and not just in SFLm, but the majors as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Houston is the only, correct me if I'm wrong, Houston's the only team that is actively shopping for a starting running back this season.
I believe possibly Sioux Falls as well, but other than them, I believe those. If Sioux Falls is also in that race, then it would certainly be the only two.
And Reggie Streeter, having retired at Louisiana, it's another vacancy there.
And it's as we said earlier, you know, there's lots of great players in the SFLm, and just unfortunately not enough roster spaces to go around. You know, it's certainly not a comment on their skill at all.
Alvarado with the sack, and that's going to be another 3 and out for Lexington. And this has just been a defensive showcase. I know it's 21-13. But these defenses have made some outstanding plays, done a nice job for the most part of keeping the running backs in check. Obviously, Marcus Duncan broke off a big run here earlier in the quarter. But really, both defenses on both sides of the field have just been very impressive. A lot of hitting, a lot of TFLs. Madison with a great pass rush so far. I believe that is their 4th sack of the night. And now Xander Moon with an elephant's earlobe left here in the 3rd quarter. Going to try and march his team down the field once again. Empty backfield for Xander Moon. Pressure coming, and down he goes. Wow, never had a shot at it. That is Ian Rudenbush. Hands up, and 2nd and long already.
Yeah, and really, you know, we keep talking about how the pressure and the pocket collapsing has really been a big part of the defense for Madison. You know, Lexington doing a good job, collapsing the pocket there as well.
And both of these quarterbacks have faced a lot of pressure tonight. 2nd and 16. Moon from the offset eye. Short drop, throwing to the flat. That is complete to Rambo, the fullback. He's actually going to get a nice gain out of it, get it back to the original line of scrimmage.
And we talk about, the likes of Randy Squarebush and Johnny Reno a lot, and I'll continue after this 2-minute warning.
May I have some fours in chat, please? Madison looking to go 6-0. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube.
We talk a lot about the likes of Johnny Reno and Randy Squarebush, and rightfully so. Those guys and gals do light up the scoreboards a lot, right? But I do think,
Xander Moon's going to get stacked again.
I do think you also have to acknowledge that there is space for defensive teams. I mean, that's very much been Madison's MO all season, is to run an aggressive defense that blows up the pocket, and it's worked for them. As much as we have these hyper offensive teams in the SFLm, I think we're also starting to see maybe the opposite of where you're starting to see these very stingy defensive teams that are starting to do the same thing on the opposite side of the ball.
That was Mark Rams on the sack for Lexington. And I'll spare you the wordplay, as the Miners will take over at their own 38-yard line. And this is a one-score game, and this thing could still swing either way. Guzman has had some highlights, some lowlights. He's responsible for the only turnover in this game so far. That interception by Enzo Bolt. And he's got just under 10.5 minutes to even this thing up. They're a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from tying this game. And they will start in the power I here on 1st and 10. Throwing to Stern. And Stern, that is a fair summation of his day. Large swaths of daylight rapidly collapsing, gaining minimal yardage there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and it's a one-score game, as you said, but Lexington really, I think, are going to start to become aware of the fact that they're running out of opportunities and running out of time. There's going to come a time very soon where it's going to be make or break, no more chances.
Stern gets the call again. And he will get maybe a yard. Well, it's going to be 3rd and 6.
And it's certainly situations like this, close games with not much time left, that really test your mettle as an SFL player and an SFL coach, and an SFLm player and coach for that matter.
Play action from Usman over the middle. And that just had no chance at all. Intended for Garris, and he was just covered by just about everybody. Clay Martin, I think, was the one that caught that ball in the back. And that was a very untimely 3-and-out for the Miners.
Well, we're going to start to see here, although we are maybe a little quick to say that Lexington is running out of time, every opportunity where they give up the ball, it now puts pressure on the defense to get a stop, or at the very least, 3-and-out, get the ball back, or at the very least, not surrender more points and make it a 2-score game. It's going to make it more of an uphill battle every time Lexington give up the ball here.
No pressure on the punt from Madison. And McClenny will get out to the 23-yard line. And you made a good point about the time, but honestly, I think one sustained drive here, although we've not seen a great deal of dink and dunk from Xander Moon. I think he's had one extended drive here so far tonight, but one of those could be enough to ice this game with just 9:09 to play in regulation. Double tight end set for Madison. Duncan up the middle. And Duncan gets corralled as we see the secondary stepping up. That's Isabella Blackwell, who's had a really nice game. First on the scene, it's going to be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and Madison have really been more chipping away at this yardage and looking for their opportunities where they can get it. But really, Madison can continuing to show that they do have the stuff to be a force here in the SFLm, and possibly Xander Moon may or may not be drafted, and if he is in the minors for one more season, it's going to be very scary to see this Madison Lynx defense with a more developed Xander Moon. You know, he's already showing flashes of brilliance both statistically and mentally.
Absolutely. Big third down here for Madison. Out to Duncan, and that is going to be really close, but I don't think he's going to get it. A slew of Lexington defenders there. And I think that will be another 3 and out. By my math, our 4th 3 and out in the last 5 series.
Yeah, and more than as Giovanni Diggs mentions in the chat here, more than a spot and more than seeding on the line for Madison here. If they win this game, it would be their first season winning more than 5 games. I think that shows a lot of progress as they look to build a stronger, more coherent organization from year to year.
Which is incredibly difficult at this level. And we've seen teams come and go. Birmingham Fuel are gone. The Albuquerque Adams gone. And there are multiple factors involved in that for sure.
Although on the opposite side of that coin, you know, Annapolis, you know, were out of the SFLm last season, and all of a sudden they've seemed to come back, you know, with a vengeance, you know. So it's very tricky to create a long-term winning organization in the SFLm, but certainly not going to stop these coaches from trying as they continue to build up experience.
John Michael Sudduth making a great catch here. Running a nice route, finding the seam in the zone, coming up with a huge first down to start the drive after a plethora of 3 and outs. We get a little bit of offense here as Lexington sneaks into plus territory. Jaleel Usman in the shotgun here. Just over 7 to play. Under pressure, and down he goes. Madison gets home on the rush. That's Charles Verne with some bad sportsmanship. Just go back to the huddle. Act like you've been there before, Charles. 2nd and 16.
Certainly can't say that was not a deserved sack. I mean, working his tail off to get inside the pocket and just blows up the play there. And now Lexington starting way back from.
That's Verne again. It looked like he was not even touched. As he trips over Usman, was that? I don't know what that was, but you can see there.
A Sunday drive to go for Lexington, and man, their backs are really up against the wall here as they're starting on exactly the 50-yard line.
And Jaleel Usman back to the empty set. And hopefully they block Charles Verne this time. They do. Usman short drop, and that is deflected. Ulysses Yale, one of the backup cornerbacks, coming up with a play there.
Well,
and after the catch from Michael Sudduth, it is a veritable de facto 3 and out for Lexington.
Yeah, we saw a 50-yard field goal earlier from Lexington. I don't think we're going to see a 60-yard attempt here.
Probably not. Punt is away. They've got a chance to pin Madison deep here. And McClenny nearly broke that one off. He'll get back out to the 18. And it's been a lot of defense here. These minor plays seem to be making a huge difference. The sacks, the pass deflections. Defenses came to play tonight, no question.
Yeah, defensive battle, and really, you know, we talked about Lexington needing to get defensive stops to set them up on offense. This is really a crucial time where they could potentially go up and force Madison to, oh my goodness.
And Lexington falls on it. Oh my goodness, a huge play, the first turnover of the game for Madison. And Lexington's going to take over an offense right on the doorstep. James Rambo with the fumble.
I'm struggling to fully comprehend. I'm struggling to fully comprehend what we just saw. I mean, that is about as disastrous of a turnover as the deep interception previously that Madison picked up, and the huge credit, of course, to the Lexington defense, and they're going to pick this ball up in amazing field position.
Usman under center here. He's got 3 points locked up at least. Throwing over the middle. That's Michael Sudduth coming up with a diving catch. The clock continues to run. Now less than 6 minutes to play here in regulation.
I almost wonder if you maybe want to chew the clock a little bit as Lexington. You know, as we've said, this is a one-score game, and although it would require a 2-point conversion, you know, maybe you want to put the pressure on Madison to step up and then march down the field. I'm not sure.
Stern to the 5. Stopped he's going to be spotted at the 5. Stopped by 3 Madison defenders. Do you feel like you have to get the 8 points here, Alden?
It's so tricky because, you know, we've talked about how Lexington really their defense really has to step up and get these stops, but I don't know. It really all comes down to how much courage, how much faith you have rather in your defense to step up and get another stop if this 2-point conversion possibly does not succeed.
Sawyer Stern dropped for a loss by Taylor Colmer. The defensive tackle, now 2nd and goal. And with the clock doing what it's doing, which is ticking away, you wonder if Lexington will get as good a shot as this later in the game. Usman throws to the sideline, and Stern is not having the room to turn upfield. He's going to go out of bounds. 3rd and goal now from the 10. The Lexington's offense going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and then he got past the line of scrimmage there. It looked like he was maybe going to turn on the Jets, but just barely out of bounds. And this is, I almost think this is 4-down territory for Lexington.
Yes, totally agree. Usman under center here, empty backfield. They're not running it here. 6 defensive backs on the field for Madison. Deep drop by Usman. Going toward the pylon. That is caught and out of bounds. It's Brian Way. And that's going to be 4th and goal from the 2.
Yeah, and if it wasn't 4-down territory, it's very, it's so close to say one way or the other here.
Brooke Beisel is on the field. They're going to kick a field goal. They're going to make this a 5-point game and hope that they get the ball back.
Yeah, that's certainly a show of faith in the Lexington defense. Now they have to step up and get the stop.
This defense, as Beisel puts it through from 19 yards. Alden, this defense has been outstanding in the second half, except for the Duncan touchdown run. They've almost been entirely 3 and outs. The only other glaring exception there was the last drive, which was a fumble.
Well, and we have to mention that. Oh, and it looks like they may be going for an onside kick here.
Oh, boy. Yes, they are. They're going to flub it right there. Madison recovers. And I don't know if I like that with 4:10 left to play.
Too soon, I think.
And Madison only needs a couple of first downs here.
Yeah, that's
to get a field goal of their own.
A very aggressive onside kick there. And I mean, you know, you certainly see the logic of it. If Lexington get the ball back, you know, it takes away the need for Lexington's defense to get a stop. But now Madison are getting the ball starting inside the 50.
Moon's going to hand off to Duncan. And Duncan gets maybe a yard before he gets trucked. The clock continues to run. Now 4 minutes to play in regulation.
And every second is a second that is taken away from Lexington on the other side of this ball. Madison, even if they don't get a touchdown, could potentially take away Lexington's time to score, and that would be just as much of a dagger in this result here.
Only one wide receiver on the field now for Madison. And I think they're going to do just that. I'll just try and lead the clock here. Duncan dropped at the line of scrimmage. Number 98, that's Darren Fuller coming up with the tackle. 3rd and 8, clock continues to run.
Although Lexington do have, you have to say, a fair number of clock management resources. 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning that effectively is a 4th timeout, excuse me. And they could potentially get a stop here and use those to their best benefit.
A huge 3rd down here for both teams. Moon is going to throw it. Going to the right side, that's caught. Adrian can't get to the marker, and he goes out of bounds. It's going to stop the clock, and Lexington's going to get the ball back.
That is huge, and now it's decision time for Madison. Are they going to go for this field goal that would then make it once again an 8-point game? That I think it's so tricky, and Madison I think maybe even go for it with Welt and
they're going to punt
game on.
Alec Findlay, who missed from 55 earlier in the game, might have lost the confidence of his coach, and they're sending out the punt instead of trying a 55-yard field goal. They're going to try and pin Lexington deep. Here comes the fair catch. And that is not a great punt in that situation, down to the 15.
And this on the, we talked about Lexington having faith in their defense potentially. This is Madison, I think, throwing down the gauntlet for Lexington, forcing them to step up to the line and step up to the Aki, so to speak, and now get these points back themselves.
Sawyer Stern not on the field here. Guzman's going to throw over the middle into a well-covered secondary. Looking for David Garris, I believe, on that play. And now 2nd and 10. The clock does stop with 2:51 to play.
And 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. Those are all on Lexington's side, but it starts with a first down here, and it starts with them marching downfield.
Absolutely. 5 defensive backs on the field for Madison. Sawyer Stern checks back in. Guzman in the shotgun. Pressure coming. Throws to the left side. He's got a man open, and that's caught. A huge catch on the left side by David Garris, who's had some monster catches in this game.
Yeah, a great pitch and catch to pick up the first down yardage. And you notice the clock has stopped. So in the grand scheme of things, this is about as fortuitous of a start to this drive for Lexington as they could have possibly hoped for. We could very well have an upset on the cards here.
And Sawyer Stern will stay in the game. Guzman over the middle.
Oh,
and that was nearly picked off. Oh my gosh, Adrian Blaine had both hands on it. It was falling backwards and couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, as we collectively wait for our hearts to return from our stomachs, that would have been the backbreaker. Madison, with one more first down, would have been able to just run out the clock, and that is as much of a risk as Lexington punting is potentially turning this ball over. That would be incredibly risky.
Trips to the bottom of your screen on 2nd and 10. Guzman in the shotgun. Michael Suddeth to his right as well. Going over the middle again. Michael Suddeth making the catch.
Great.
They're going to hurry up on 3rd and 2.
A great secure catch there, and they're going to have to do more of the same here, I would imagine, with the empty set staying on the field.
And Sawyer Stern off the field at 3rd and short, and that's caught. That's Zachary Patton, and he gets out of bounds. We'll stop the clock with 2:24 to play, and Lexington will move the chains.
Well, and we have to talk about clock management here. As we said, going into this drive, Lexington have 3 timeouts in the 2-minute warning, and they've gotten 2 first downs now without expending the 2-minute warning. And that, I don't know. Lexington have all the opportunity in the world to keep marching here.
They need a touchdown. A field goal does them no good. They trail by 5. 55 yards to the promised land. They're going to win this game or they're going to lose it. Guzman to the left. That is caught. But the receiver tackled in bounds. Lexington will hurry up.
Clock continuing to be used prior to the 2-minute warning here.
Guzman again. Pressure coming over the middle this time, and that is caught. David Garris over the middle one more time. And that will get us to the 2-minute warning. Madison trying to go 6-0. Lexington trying to drive for their 3rd win of the season. You're watching the SFL Minor League on YouTube.
And this is such an exciting finish that is being set up here. It will be Lexington or it will be Madison that take destiny into their own hands. And Madison really have had it all blown up in the last segment of this quarter here.
And Usman has time, throwing over the middle into double coverage, and that is deflected. Enzo Bolt, who already has an interception, got a hand on the ball intended for Zachary Patton.
And
just 154.
And Lexington on the opposite side of the field were really just going for sort of pitch and catch type passes and picking up yards that way. Now it seems like they're maybe almost going a little more vertical.
Usman on the shotgun again on 2nd and 10. 3 wideouts, 5 DBs for Madison. Pressure coming. Usman evades and throws it away. I'm surprised we didn't see a flag for grounding there, but Usman with some tremendous awareness stops the clock. You cannot take a sack in that situation. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Usman has continued to face pressure all throughout this drive. I mean, really, as he has all throughout this game, but really has shown overall that he has a decent head on his shoulders in these situations. And Madison have continued to have to dial up the pressure just to get him rattled.
5 wideouts on the field. Usman under pressure again. Throwing to the corner this time, and it's in and out of the hands of David Garris, but there's a flag on the field.
I believe this was maybe holding. We'll have to see what this was.
Holding. Then I would see Madison potentially declining this. No, it's defensive holding.
Ow. Oh, man.
That is a serious penalty there. Nathaniel Diggs, the offending party.
We'll have to see where they spot this ball, but that's perhaps most importantly, that's a fresh set of downs for Lexington here.
Yes, it is. And that is a huge penalty by Madison. And just over a minute to play here. Now trips to the bottom of your screen. Usman will deal to his left this time, and that's caught. Garris tries to get to the marker. And the clock will continue to run. His 11th catch of the night on 16 targets.
Yeah, and timeout not used by Lexington. They are perhaps running the clock down, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, they want to score with zeros on the clock. And they're not being shy about personnel changes here either. 3 backs in the field, in the game. Sawyer Stern has the first down. He is officially in the red zone with just over a minute to play. Clock continues to run.
Yeah, and in Madison, although Xander Moon has had a good game overall, he hasn't really been having the kind of game where you can reasonably expect him to just explode. And maybe this is the best strategy for Lexington to continue to chew into this time.
Into the end zone, and that is caught. Touchdown! Lexington pulls ahead. Zachary Patton gives Lexington their first lead of the game with 44 seconds remaining.
It does not get bigger than this. Madison and Lexington both need wins as part of their playoff aspirations here. And Lexington have had an incredibly tough game. Madison have been incredibly efficient all game. And really this is the result that I feel like they've earned. They have shown a ton of courage, a ton of creativity, and now they're going for 2 here.
This would give them a 3-point lead, which would negate the field goal. And Sawyer Stern punches it in. And the lead is now 3 for Lexington.
This is the first time, I mentioned at halftime that we could maybe potentially see an upset for Lexington, but it has really, this is now Lexington bringing it to fruition. You cannot take a single thing away from Lexington. They have earned this position that they are in.
And how about Jaleel Usman, who opened the second half with that interception to Enzo Bolt after the huge kick return. What a kick in the pants that was for Lexington. As Madison's going to take a knee as Beisel boots this into the end zone. You think her blood's pumping or what?
Yeah, and really, like we said, integrity and courage, two of those big mental intangibles that you just cannot measure. And really Lexington and especially, it has to be said, Usman, really have shown that in bunches here.
And don't touch that dial, mouse, or screen just yet. Xander Moon has 40 seconds to work with. Scott Fowl very close to the first down, and Madison will use their first timeout of the second half.
As this game continues to build to its crescendo, one more check-in on the scoring update as Tacoma and Memphis has been a very tight game as well. GP Wells going vertical, 82-yard touchdown run on 4th and 12 to give Madison the lead 35-28, 6:12 left in the fourth in that game.
And here in Lexington, Xander Moon is going to try and engineer a long drive of his own, just as Jaleel Usman did just a few moments ago. The Moon under pressure. Looking for, and that's intercepted! And they're going to run this back! Lexington's going to win this game!
That is one of the most emphatic ways to win a game. And that, you feel so bad for the Madison receiver there. He tips the ball up himself, essentially, and Chad Owens closing out, going to the house for 6. That has really just been an emphatic finish to this game for Lexington after struggling for so long just to have an opportunity.
James Rambo was the intended receiver, deflected the ball up into the air when Chad Owens, the outside linebacker, caught it before it hit the ground and sauntered in the end zone for Lexington's only 3rd touchdown of the game. And Beisel's going to add the extra point, and now it's a 10-point game with 31 seconds to play.
Well, and assuming that this result holds, I believe, I would have to go back and do the math. I believe that this will see Lexington go over the line, and that would see Tacoma. It would be either them or Tacoma then in 4th, and Memphis going up into 3rd, presuming that result holds as well. And Lexington, we mentioned that both of these teams need to take fate into their own hands, and that has been precisely what Lexington have done here. This has been as deserving of a win as we've seen here so far.
Deserving and hard fought, Alden. Both teams going back and forth. This was an absolute defensive slugfest from start to finish, especially in the second half. Dueling 3-and-outs, dueling turnovers. And despite that, both of these quarterbacks able to make some big-time throws.
And although... I'm sorry.
No, please, go ahead.
And although Madison haven't really had the results that they've been looking for,
and another interception by Xander Moon. And if it wasn't nice before, you can lock it and stock it right now. Darrell Bullock going up and away, coming up with a big pick, and that might have come out. We might see a challenge here.
Yeah, and although Madison haven't really gotten the result that they had hoped to, coming into this game at the very top of the table, they have still shown plenty of reason that they have this 5-0 result, and they'll get 2 more chances.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, for Lexington, 3-3 now, because after Annapolis and Madison, it's just going to be a sprint for those last 2 playoff spots. And I think Lexington, having been in a situation now where they're 3-3, you look at Tacoma, they entered the week 3-3, Memphis as well. Obviously, that game happening right now is going to have huge ramifications.
Mm-hmm.
And Salt Lake City at 2-3, and even San Jose at 2-4, they're not out of this thing yet either.
Yeah, and it all starts with wins, right? Every single playoff scenario with the tiebreakers, you have to win your games. That's really the bottom line. And Madison have shown plenty of potential and shown plenty of reason why they're at the top of the table, but Lexington have just been the better team here tonight, and as a result, they're going to walk away, I believe, jumping over the playoff line here.
Madison will face San Jose at home next week, and they will close the regular season in what will be a hot contest hosting Annapolis. That will certainly have some seeding implications. And that is going to be the end of the game. Congratulations to the Lexington Miners on a come from behind victory, 31-21. Alden Bleeker, your thoughts on the game?
Well, we went into this game potentially ready to congratulate Madison on stamping their tickets to the playoff, and although they, like we said, they haven't gotten the result that they're looking for, they still have 2 more opportunities, and I think you have plenty of positives to walk away from this game if you are a fan or player of the Madison Lynx. You know, Xander Moon showing plenty of awareness as a quarterback, getting the ball to his receivers in good positions. Marcus Duncan has busted off several big runs here. You know, we've seen this touchdown run, you know, and all things being considered, although Lexington had a hard-fought slugfest to the finish, you know, Madison showing the signs of the team that has been 5-0, and now they just got to get on track. You can't let losses like this affect you mentally. You have 2 more opportunities. That means that one of those 2 times you've got to step up and show what you're worth.
And Lexington getting it done with only 54 yards rushing. Jaleel Usman, who would probably get my game ball tonight, Alden, 257 yards passing, 2 touchdown throws, did have the 1 interception. David Garris, the most prolific among those Lexington receivers, with 100 yards receiving on basically 538 targets, and had, by my count, 12 receptions. A very impressive game. And Lexington, the way you performed against the team that's 5-0, you got to be feeling good as they conclude as they look to wrap up their season. They face Annapolis next week, and then they close out their regular season with Salt Lake City.
Yeah, and Brooke, you know, we talk a lot about, you know, Xander Moon and Jaleel Usman, excuse me. But I think, you know, you have to also talk about the sort of underspoken performances here. You know, Brooke Beisel and Isabella Blackwell stepping up and
Yes.
doing their thing for Lexington. Also, you know, Robert Cherry walking away with, I believe, 2.5 sacks. You know, Madison, although they lost here and it was Lexington's offense finishing the job, they have been dialing up pressure and coverage all night.
Well, we only have one player of the game, and it is Jaleel Usman II. 31 of 49, 257 yards, and 2 touchdowns. For Alden Bleeker, for Cameron Irvine in the truck, my name is Josh Circle. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again to the Lexington Miners. Your final score, Lexington 31, Madison 21. We will have more SFL action for you next Saturday, December 11th. Until then, we will see you on the internet. Good night from Lexington.